What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Sean from 4GLU, 4 Geeks Like You, and you're now tuned into my review of Breaking Bad Season 5B, Episode 15, titled Granite State. Now, this episode starts off with Saul, who's been taken to this warehouse by a guy named Ed. Ed is the guy who gives you the new identity, basically cleans your slate and starts you on a new foot. So, while this is happening, Saul is like, listen, how much is this going to take? How long is this going to take for me to basically start a new life? And first of all, he's being told that his new life is going to start in Nebraska. And his face was just like, okay, I got to do what I got to do. But he's being told that it's going to take 2 to 3 days for him to start over. And he's told that he has to share a room with somebody else. And he's like, all right, well, is the guy comfortable here? How's the guy taken to the surroundings? And then Ed is like, why don't you take a look? Cuts on the camera, it's Walt White. And Walt is pacing back and forth looking pissed. Smacks the lamp, and then we're into this episode. Now, when Saul and Walt start talking, they link up. Initially, Walt was like, listen, man, I need you to get a couple of hitmen. We're going to take out Jack and his crew. They took my money. They killed Hank. I need this done. Saul was just like, guy, I'm not about that life anymore. He even tells him, an interesting fact is that, listen, that was a good job that you did with the phone, acting all angry. The call was probably recorded. And, you admitted to doing so much, and you're trying to give Skylar a chance to stay out of prison, but it's only going to be for a short matter of time until they come back and they hammer her even more, and then she's going to be taking all of the blame because they can't find you. And Walt is just staring. He's like, okay, it's like he's taking it into consideration, like, yeah, well, maybe this can backfire on me, but he's not really concerned about that as much as he is about getting rid of Jack, who took his money for his family. Because at the end of the day, remember, Walt was doing this for his family. So after that, Saul was like, listen, man, I'm not about that life anymore, but I have to go. Because Ed comes down, he's like, listen, your stuff is here, your stuff is ready to go, time to go. And Saul's like, all right, man, peace. Not before Walt tries to threaten him and say that we're both going at the same time, but Saul still leaves. We don't see Saul anymore throughout this whole episode. So after this, we get a funny scene, which is funny to me because I don't like Marie. Marie's house gets ripped, and it gets ripped by Jack and his crew, who are looking for the confession tape that Jesse basically made with Hank. Now, when Jack and his crew are back at their little compound and they're playing the tape, you see Jesse's confessing everything, but then he mentions Todd's name, and this is what sets Jack off, because now Jack is like, whoa, you're ratting up my nephew? Oh, hell no. Comes outside with the gun. He's going out there to kill Jesse. Todd comes out, and Todd is like, listen, man, we can use this guy. We can make millions. Jack is like, we already have millions. Todd is like, listen, man, listen, just listen to me. Jesse is worth it if he's alive. And Jack basically puts 2 and 2 together. He's like, you're doing this for Lydia, right? Come on, man. But anyway, he gives Jesse another pass. Okay, another pass. Now, after this, we get a sort of a eerie scene. Not eerie, but funny scene to me, because again, I don't like certain characters, and when certain things happen to characters like Skylar, I'm like, yeah, that's good for you. Todd and his crew break into Skylar's house around the baby, and Skylar goes in there, and they're basically like, listen, we can kill you right now. We got respect for Walt, but we can kill you. And at first I was like, why would Todd go after Skylar when really Skylar really doesn't really know anything about you? But he gives her a pass. There are cops outside her house, and I don't understand how the hell these cops got past her house. How these guys broke into her house if there are cops outside, and it only looks like there are 2. And I'm like, dude, like her husband is like fucking a big time drug kingpin, and yet and still you fucking guys are like just sending out 2 guys to watch her house. Like, what? So after this scene, we get to find out who actually is the one who put the sort of hit or scare out on Tyler, and that was Lydia. And Lydia meets up with Todd in the diner, and Todd is like, listen, I really like working with you. I went in to try to scare Skylar, and Lydia's like, why'd you go in to scare her? You're not supposed to scare her. I wanted her dead. She saw my face. And Todd is like, listen, we did something cool. I got 96% perfect of that meth. And she's like, 96%? And he's like, yeah, so you know what? I really like working with you, you're cool. She's like, 96%. She's not even paying attention to Todd actually trying to mac with her or confess his feelings for her. She's like, oh, 96%. Okay. I'll see you later. And that was that with that scene. Now, after that, it's a cool scene because Jesse tries to escape, and he actually does. He takes a safety pin out of or a paper clip and breaks the handcuffs, gets through, runs up top, and he's about to climb over the gate. Then all of a sudden, Todd and Jack, they come up behind him with the light, the guns, and he's like, come on, kill me. I don't care anymore. I'm not cooking any more coke. Any more meth for you. No more. And I was like, that's right. I'm pretty sure he's gonna die, but okay. But after that, all of a sudden, there's a knock at the door. And I'm like, whose door is being knocked on? And it's Andrea. And who's at the door? It's Todd. And I'm like, well, is Todd there? Like, did Todd see Jesse escape? Because if he did, then this is probably gonna be like sort of like a payback or a lesson kind of thing. But they didn't really show you if it was Todd. I assumed it was Todd and Jack. So anyway, Todd was like, listen, we got Jesse in the car. I'm gonna go see him. He's out here for you. I'm a friend of his. And she's like, where? He's like, that van over there, that dark van in that shadowy area with no lights on. That's where Jesse is. And she's like, oh, where? She steps outside the house even more. Todd comes behind her with the silencer. Boop! She's dead. And Jesse's in the car and made to watch it all happen and unfold. And I was like, wow, like, he sort of deserves it, but damn, man. So after that, I was like, shit, man, Todd is pretty much a dick. Fucking dick, man. So the remainder of the episode was more about Walt. You know, he's in this sort of reservation. Ed has him up there. He's kind of lonely, so he's asking Ed to stay with him a little while. But the end of the episode is what really got me. Is when Walt makes a call out to Walt Jr. And he's like, listen, you know, I have some money here for you guys. He called as Aunt Marie. And at first it looks like Walt Jr. is like really talking to him. He's like, oh, that's my dad. And then all of a sudden, as he's talking to him, he's like, I'm gonna send you some money, right? And Walt Jr. is like, you're gonna send me money? Like, you just killed Uncle Hank? And he's yelling. And Walter's like, listen, just listen. He's like, no, you listen to me. I don't give a shit. And I'm like, damn, man. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, if I'd have lost my cool by then. But I was like, damn, all right. Okay, Walt Jr., like, I understand you're mad. But, you know, damn. But Walt is really torn up inside because then, you know, Walt Jr. hangs up on him. That's it. That's all that happened. He's like, I'm cutting ties with you. Why are you still alive? Why aren't you dead? Just die already. And I was like, damn. Walt calls the DEA. He's like, I want to speak to the guy who's in charge of the Walter White case. They're like, who is this? He's like, Walt. He drops the phone, gets a drink. Sheriff and everybody come to the bar where he's at, right? And when they get there, you just see the glass and the dollar. And the Breaking Bad theme song plays. And I was like, yes, why didn't they just end the show like that? That would have been such a great way to end the show. Like, this felt like the last episode, especially the way it ended. I was like, yo, to end it that way would have been perfect. Perfect. But we still got one more episode, guys. And I don't know what the heck is going to happen. I can't even imagine what's going to happen. But we still got one more episode. Do you think that Walt's going to die? Do you think that Jesse's going to die? What do you think's going to happen there? Do you think that Saul, you know, is going to somehow come back into the picture? Let me know below, guys. And again, this is Sean from 4GLU, 4 Geeks Like You. Stay tuned for more reviews, and I will see you guys later. Peace. Have a good one.